So we're going to look at the Parker Brothers, the construction company toys. Up until I got this kind of on a lark at a thrift store, I was completely unfamiliar with this. If you look in the back, it shows that it's from 1985. You know, that Parker Brothers logo, I think you associate with games like Clue, not so much construction toys, but for whatever reason, they got into the game. So let me show you how these work. They are a little bit different and kind of unique. So here's a look at the pieces that came in the two sets. Remember, I got the two kind of basic sets, 1,000 and 2,000. There were higher sets. I think they went all the way up to 5,000, and there were some additional pieces. So you get like a dump truck bed. There are some bigger pieces like this. There are some different bases and stuff. But this does basically represent most of the pieces. So to simplify things, here are the actual pieces. So we kind of got one of each here. And you can see, in some ways, there's only 5 actual pieces you can build with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are wheels. You can, I don't know, I guess I would include that as 6. But these are just kind of accessories, decorations. You can pretty much only build up. You know, you can't attach things on the side. It's pretty limited in how you can build. But that doesn't mean you can't build some cool things. So I'm going to give you an idea how these pieces go together. They do not stack like Lego. Okay, so if you just put this like this, it'll literally fall off. So you can stack them like this and they'll kind of stay together, but as soon as you lift them up, they'll go, you know, they'll fall apart. So they do not cling like Legos. Basically what you're doing is there's this screw mechanism in here, and you're gonna screw this into here. You're gonna use the screwdriver. You're gonna see my screwdrivers have the tips broken off of them. Actually, I have 2 of these and they're both the same, which means to me that this must have been, you know, a problem with it. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this in here, push it down, and at some point, you hear it click. And it actually stays together. So let me do that again. Oops. So you should have heard that click. So I'm gonna make a stair here, and you'll see that these do stay together like this. But one of the faults with these is you have to build from the bottom up. So you can see these are together, right? I'm holding this and they stay together. But let's say I say, oh, my stair's falling down. Oh, actually, so I must not have that one on all the way. So you see that again. Sometimes you are lulled into thinking it is together. Now it should be. You can kind of see these are all lined up. So that should stay. But again, so now my stair's not staying up. So, okay, I'm going to make a support. I'm going to take these 2 little ones. And so those are together. But the problem is I can't do that. I can't get that through. I can't get the screwdriver through. So, I mean, it's going to stay because of the weight. But what I'd have to do is if I had not planned accordingly to build from the bottom up, I'd have to take this one off and now do this. So that's screwed in, and now do this. So the directions say build from the bottom up. There are some accessory pieces. They have that little tab, and you'll see that those just pop into there. Some of them are loose, so you know they'll stay better than others. But you can kind of do that, and you can build. I don't know what that is. They do stay together. To unlock it, to take it apart, you're going to turn it counterclockwise. The way that they work is you're going to see there's 2 tabs. There's a tab here and here. The white piece is in the starting position, and then when you turn it like that, you can imagine that as you turn it, it locks onto those 2 tabs. So that's basically how it works. It's almost impossible to see, but there's a little tab on the right-hand side that stops it from going too far. So it does kind of lock into place. So I will say in the directions they tell you specifically not to do this. They say don't use a regular screwdriver. But honestly, it's a little easier. I find with this one, you got to kind of get it in there. And partially because that tip's broken. And again, it definitely works. But I'm not sure how the metal thing would damage it. The manual is full color, which is nice. It does give you 5 different directions in this particular manual. This is for the basic set. It gives you part list. And again, like I said, the only thing I'm missing is that dude, unfortunately. It gives you some basics about how to put them together, how to use the tool. Again, do not use a real screwdriver. Accent pieces, so those are the pieces I'm talking about where they're kind of, you don't build with them, but they're just kind of decorations. They talk about the foreman. They got signs here. The signs actually look like, what they are is they're the clear glass piece, and then you just slip a card inside there. So you can use those. And that's kind of nice. You got the wheels, and then they have full color things. I'm gonna make the bulldozer. And so again, it kind of shows you, gather these pieces, start putting it together, do those 4 parts basically, and then here's the next set of pieces you need, and here's how to do that, and then you're done. So as I'm building this, one of the things I notice is sometimes you don't know if you actually have the piece down. So I'm turning it. I think I have it. Yeah. There's no great cue to kind of tell you like, oh yeah, it's in there. There's been times I've built and I've actually missed. I thought it was in, but it wasn't. So that's a failure of the... All right, so here it is. It's decent. And I guess sorry about the squeak, it works as advertised. It was easy enough to put together. The directions were complete. They were not confusing. So I'm making the Starfighter. So again, this is what it's supposed to look like. And these 2 things are supposed to hold up the rest of the ship. But these little tiny tabs on here are not always, they sometimes slide out pretty easy. So I'm curious whether it's actually gonna hold that up. And again, I don't know if it was like that in the beginning, whether they become more slippery or loose from time. I'm not so sure they're gonna actually hold it. So let's see what happens. So I think as you can see, they did work. They went in there pretty tight, and so they're holding it up quite well. Typically, you would not be able to make both at the same time with just one set. The only reason I was able to do it was because I had the 2 sets, and actually I had to use different colors than they say for this set because I had to make do with what blocks I had. But they're both, relatively interesting models. I can imagine flying this thing around. The card back there is like rocket engines, which is a nice touch. So not too bad. For the bulldozer, I used the screwdriver, which again has a broken tip, but I was successful. For the Starfighter, I did actually use a flathead screwdriver. Again, and it was honestly a little bit easier. It just fits into those holes a little bit better. Again, probably because of the broken tip, this isn't always great. And I guess maybe because I'm not 10 years old, I don't think I broke anything. Again, with this, you could kind of really turn it really hard, get a lot of torque on it. But as an adult, I think you're okay. All right, so I think I deserve a construction company official ID card because check this out. Pretty sweet, huh? So I used a lot of the parts from the 2 sets, and I made this flying thing. It holds together. I should see if it flies. So you can make some relatively interesting things with it. I thought I had locked those together there. I didn't. So if I was going to have to fix that, and I think I did it in the front too. Yeah, so actually this whole thing is not locked together well enough. So the annoying thing would be to actually get that to stay locked. I'd have to take apart 1, 2, 3, a bunch of pieces to get that fixed. So what do you think? I actually was pretty impressed with it. It's definitely not perfect. It's a little bit flimsy and there's some awkwardness to it, but it was a lot of fun. So I will be selling this on eBay. I can't keep all the things that I find. So if you're interested, take a look. Any comments, any experiences you've had with this toy would be very much appreciated. And thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing.